Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm ShaylaMKing, a former C-suite executive turned business and life coach. And this is the podcast for leaders who want it all. The promotions, the paychecks, and luxurious amounts of time for the things that matter most. Each week, I'm going to teach you from my performance and happiness formula what it takes to rise to the top without burnout and overwhelm. Work less, make more, and design a life you love. That's what we do in the 5% Club. Let's go. Hello, friends. Merry Christmas. Today, we are going to talk about how to slow down, make memories, and give yourself luxurious amounts of time this holiday season. Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm ShaylaMKing, your favorite executive and time coach. And so today I want to talk to you about something that comes up every single year around this time. The holidays hit and suddenly everyone is tired, rushing, stressed, and doing way too much. But 5%ers don't get swept up in the chaos. 5%ers have luxurious amounts of time for the things and people that matter most. And today, I'm going to show you how to get some of that luxurious amounts of time for yourself. It's not too late. You can design this week and the rest of the holiday season with intention. So let's talk about the 5% way and the power of a true rest week. This is the 1 week all year where your brain does not have to be productive. It doesn't have to be anything for anyone. No strategizing. No problem solving. You don't even have to reflect and think about what's next yet. You don't have to organize the house and come do every project. You can simply rest. Just rest. Just presence. Let your nervous system settle down a little. It is the power of now. So your only job this week is to live your life, not think about how to improve it, and be in the moment. Now listen, you don't need a holiday schedule either that rivals a cruise itinerary. Most of the pressure you feel isn't even yours. It's old habits, it's guilt, it's comparison to whatever perfect photo someone posted online. You get to strip all of that out. You get to decide what actually matters to you. So here's my recommendation. Choose 1 to 3 memory makers. Decide on the 3 things that genuinely matter to you and your family this week. So for me, when I think about the whole Christmas season, I have 2 memories that I really want to make with my children. One of them is that I want to go ice skating. And it's a little bougie, but they have it at like the Four Seasons in Austin, where they have these little areas that you each get your own bungalow, and they make it look like an igloo. And then you get s'mores, and there's a fire pit for the family, and it's your own little secluded area. And then they have ice skating. I know it's a little bougie version of ice skating, but the decorations, the decor, I love ambiance. I just picture the kids smiling with their s'more. And some of the best memories I have with my kids are around campfires. My parents had a lake house growing up. We got a fire pit in our backyard when we lived in Chicago. And there's something about the conversation that hits different around the fire. So that is one of my epic memories that I want to create around the holiday season. The other one's a little more simple. We're going to do a kids pajama night, Christmas movie night. And so we're going to make probably some puppy chow. Do you guys like puppy chow? Do you throw M&Ms or anything else in it, or just a plain old regular puppy chow? So we'll have that. We also get these like square pretzels and we put a Rolo on them and put them in the oven for like 6 minutes. And then you can put a nut on top. Oh my God, those are one of my favorite holiday treats. So we will, make a couple of desserts and we'll all be wearing our Christmas pajamas and we're just going to watch some Christmas movies. And those 2 things are the moments this holiday season that I am choosing to have be my moments. And here's why that's important. Because I know that I want to fulfill this vision that I have in my head, I'm going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to give myself more space around it. I'm not going to be rushing to the night we have the movie night and trying to buy the groceries that afternoon so then we can make the treats. We might even make the treats ahead of time, but we definitely are going to have the groceries ahead of time. There's going to be no rush involved, because when I'm rushed, I'm bitchy, I'm short with my kids, I don't show up the way that I want. And we have to remember during this holiday season, our kids don't remember any of the details. They don't remember the decorations, if the cookies look perfect, if the outfits were perfect, but they do remember how they feel when they're around you. And so we want to be that loving environment, not that taskmaster that's stressed out trying to get everything right. And so I will give myself this luxurious amount of time to even prepare for my activity that is going to have a luxurious amount of time for the activity. I'm also going to remind myself going in that it doesn't have to be perfect, but the goal is just to settle in that moment and have nothing else to do, nowhere else to be, and just let every person, all my family members, be themselves, and just think in my head as I'm watching them interact with each other and with me, how much I love them and how much I love how unique of a human they are. That really helps me get out of the judgment zone or thinking like, no, I thought we were going to have deep conversation around the fire pit and they just want to talk about this new video game, right? Like it just lets you go, oh, it's so cool that they're interested in that now. And I love that the older siblings are talking to the younger siblings about it, right? You can look at it from what's beautiful about the interactions instead of making it have such a very detailed picture that if anything doesn't work out the way that you thought it would, it kind of crumbles. All right, so those are my two memories that I'm choosing this year to have with my family. And then a third one is we are doing, tomorrow night, we are having what we are calling the first Christmas party. And so I'm recording this for you. It's the first weekend after Thanksgiving. And so every year now we're going to host a holiday open house because Brian and I both absolutely love Christmas and we have our decorations up early. And so it's just a way for friends to get together and kick off the season before things get too busy. And so we are having that this weekend. It's not for the kids, it's for us, but it's something else that I look forward to this holiday season and want to keep as kind of a constant every year from here on out. And so those are my three. What are yours? You don't have to do everything. It doesn't have to be if you have littles like them sitting on Christmas on Santa's lap and then going to the Christmas light show and taking them to the ballet and going to your parents and your in-laws. And are you doing all the perfect traditions on Christmas Eve? And then are you going to church? And then are you going to see a special play at the church? And then are you going to go Christmas shopping together and everyone's going to be happy and in good moods with hot chocolate? And just think about it. The list is huge of what you could be doing. And sometimes if just one of them goes off, we're failing. It's not working. This is not the way I thought the season would be. But instead, I just want you to choose 1 to 3. Make those special and let the rest just kind of fall and happen as they do. These are the moments that you'll actually remember 10 years from now. And I want you to give yourself luxurious amounts of time for those things. Time to be present, time to enjoy, and time to sink into the moment without rushing. Luxurious amounts of time, no frantic time. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper into the next step, which is on letting go of the perfect holiday fantasy. So your kids aren't always going to want to be in the mood to hang out. Someone's going to be running late, and you won't have things ready or get ready yourself in the way you imagined. Oh well. You don't need the perfect mix of rest, relaxation, memories, home organization, socializing, and family time. That was me for years. I was like, I'm going to pack in every single thing I need during this time off of work. And when I said what I needed, it was literally not just the stuff with the family, but it's also all these organization projects I haven't gotten done all year. I'm going to get them done. I'm going to plan out my whole next year during this week. I'm going to force myself to rest. I'm going to take baths and sleep in and take walks, and I'm going to get a massage. And it ended up being this wild to-do list that I was so set up for failure, and it had no room to just be. And so that's why we're choosing those 3 memory makers, so we can let everything else go however it goes. And that's what makes it peaceful. Luxurious amounts of time also means time for nothingness. And just because you're free does not mean you owe anyone your time. You're allowed to simply say, I'm not going to be able to make it. I hope you have a wonderful time. Because during this time of year, if someone invites us somewhere and we look at our calendar and it looks like it has an open slot, we often feel like we have an obligation to say yes. You do not, my friends. You do not have to do anything you don't want to do. I love reminding you of this. You do not have to do anything you don't want to do. And sometimes I'm saying no because I don't want to plan. I don't want to be busy. I don't want to be cold. I want to have that time freedom to do whatever I end up deciding to do. I just don't want to commit because I'm not really excited about it. Here is your litmus test. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Merry Christmas. That right there is the biggest gift, just knowing that litmus test. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. So you're going to give yourself luxurious amounts of time for making memories and luxurious amounts of time for nothingness in between. Stillness is a gift. Quiet is a gift. And this is where you really get your life force back. And for my parents listening, you already know this, but your kids are not going to remember how perfect the holiday looked. They're going to remember how they felt around you. And the unrushed version of you is beautiful. They'll remember the moments that you slowed down and just did a puzzle with them. The moments you weren't thinking about your to-do list, but were truly in the moment with them while you watched their favorite cartoon or show. That's what sticks. And here's the leadership truth. This style of rest, it's not a reward. It's a strategy. Presence is a performance tool. A rested you is a more loving parent, a more grounded partner, and a more powerful leader. Taking a true week to be in your life makes you sharper walking into January. So next week after Christmas is when I personally reflect and start dreaming about what I want the next year to feel like. But not this week, not the week of Christmas. This one is sacred. This one is about being. Eckhart Tolle talks about how the present moment is where your real power is. And he's right. You can't design a meaningful year from exhaustion or chaos. You can't fit it in this 90 minutes. I'm going to plan out the perfect next year. You got to let yourself decompress first. You got to let yourself come down and get back in the moment with yourself and your family. So you need this week of presence first. And that's exactly why Epic 2026 exists. Because after you've given yourself the rest, the space, and the presence, you're ready to design the most extraordinary year of your life. And we're going to do that together on January 18th. So go ahead and get on the list if you haven't already. If you haven't already signed up for Epic 2026, you're going to want to be there with us. It is different than anything you've ever done. Basically, the Cliff's Notes is, you know how you create a strategy for every important project at work? And you know how there's New Year's goals and New Year's resolutions? This is where you create the strategy for having fun. This is where you create the strategy for your personal life. This is where you create the strategy for having an epic life. No one ever teaches this. There's never space in our calendar for it. It's only I'm going to lose 15 pounds this year, and what do I need to do to get this project across the line at work? But not the project of ourselves, of living our own lives. And as you guys know, I nearly died 3 years ago, and coming back off of life support and getting a new chance at life makes me so cognizant of how important it is that we have a strategy for that we have a strategy for fun and play and adventure, a strategy for making it epic. So you can come with me on January 18th and join a bunch of 5%ers who are planning out their best life. But before I let you go, I want to say this. Something big is coming in the new year. I've been building something behind the scenes that is going to change the way you grow, lead, and create your life in 2026. If you want to be the first to know when it drops, make sure you join the waitlist at ShaylaMKing.com. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. As we wrap up and you get ready for this beautiful week with your family, I want to remind you 1 to 3 memory makers and luxurious amounts of time for yourself and the people that matter most. This is your chance to let everything else go and be in the now. You've got this, my friends. Your 2025 looked successful on paper, but it didn't feel great, did it? You hit the goals, you got the results, people around you think you're thriving. But inside, it felt more draining than fulfilling, like you were running on fumes while everyone else applauded. And here's the truth that no one talks about. Hitting goals does not automatically create joy. Achievement does not guarantee alignment, and high performers learn that the hard way. I know this world. I was a C-suite executive, and now I coach leaders who are winning publicly and secretly exhausted. And it's not because they're doing anything wrong. It's because they built success that looks good but does not feel good. They're focused on achievement instead of alignment, and eventually it catches up. So if your life looks better than it feels, you're not alone. This is the moment to decide that 2026 is going to be different. You do not need another vision board thinking that having it in the background is going to magically do it. You need a plan that makes your vision board come true. A year designed with intention. A year that is fulfilling and energizing and meaningful. A year that feels as good as it looks on paper. And that's exactly why I created Epic 2026. It's a one-day virtual retreat where we design your entire year together. And you guys know, for projects at work, for our strategy at work, we plan these things out, but we never plan in our joy. So at this one-day virtual retreat, we're going to design your entire year together, including your epic moments, your memories, your adventures, your version of a life that feels incredible to live. This is where 2026 actually begins, right now, with a decision to build something better. And with the Black Friday sale, it's the perfect time to invest in yourself. One more gadget isn't going to make you feel better next year. Creating a life you want to live will. Epic 2026 is 50% off this week only. If you want next year to feel wildly successful and deeply fulfilling, this is your move. Do not get to December 2026 feeling the way you do right now. Design the year you actually want. Grab the link below. Let's go. Thanks for joining me in the 5% Club today. If you're ready to make more, work less, and design a life you love, then go to ShaylaMKing.com and join the waitlist. You'll be the first to know when there's openings to work with me in one-on-one coaching or the Performance and Happiness Lab, my group container where you will learn to be a high-performing, highly paid executive who loves your whole life. I'll see you there.